Well, I hope you guys are ready. After the music, now we got some information. So I hope that your receptacles are open. Up next, from Molokai. In fact, before this guy jumped on the plane, he killed a deer. Yeah, he made lunch, flew over. Now he's gonna share with you guys what is happening on his Aina. And let me just tell you, this is something living on Oahu. When it comes to Aina, we ain't got much. So when we go to the outer islands, we're amazed at the splendor. Up next, Uncle Walter Reedy is gonna share some manao about what's going on in Molokai. Uncle, please come up. Give a round of applause for Uncle Walter Reedy.
So we all know the answer. Where does the children play? Hale'iwa. That's why we're here today. This is where the children should be playing now and forever. So in order for that to happen, we need to protect this place. We need to keep country. And all us guys from country areas, we all gotta stick together. Because they can keep town, but don't bring town to country. So we need to start drawing lines now because we're getting inundated. So I'm here today because I heard there was some action going on in Hale'iwa. And I came to check it out, and wow, did they have some action in Hale'iwa today. How about a round of applause for all of you? All of you. Oh, it was hard to explain when you saw how many people were coming together. Just that coming together was the voice. Without saying one single word, you could hear the message coming from Hale'iwa. So I come from Molokai, and I want to make sure that places like Molokai stay the way they are. And it's not because of selfishness, but because we're thinking about our future generations. And we need to make sure that the things that were given to us are handed down to the next generation, to the next generation, to the next generation. That's our kuleana. That is everybody's kuleana. This is not yours. Okay, this is you're the gatekeeper, you're the one that takes care of the place for the next generation. That's your job. Your job is to stay alive, take care of your family, but you cannot take care of your family by taking away the future generation's resources. And that's a story of Haloa. That's a story we learn as Hawaiians from the time we were born. You take care of Haloa, Haloa gonna take care of you. So Haloa is all of the resources that our kupuna gave to us that we need now to take care of to give to the next generation. So on Molokai, we are farmers. Molokai is aina momona. Molokai is where food is produced. And then all of a sudden we had new farmers on our island. They came in the middle of the night. Nobody knew who these guys were. Nobody knew they came on the island. And on Molokai, that's really hard to do. Somebody come off the plane, the whole island know who came off the plane. So how did these guys sneak onto the island of Molokai? They did it by buying existing cornfields that we all knew and loved. And when they bought all these cornfield people out, they changed everything that they were growing without telling anybody. So it took us 3 to 5 years before we knew what the hell was going on our island. And by the time we found out, Monsanto had become the major employer on our island. So we were stuck. But we figure, when I was growing up, you come home, you turn on the light, the cockroaches, they run, man. And I always remember that because it was like, sneak up to the light, turn them on, and all the cockroaches start running. So I figure if we turn on the light, these damn cockroaches gonna start running. So today, you guys went major switch, man. You guys went turn on today. I hope these cockroaches start running because the light is shining on them in Hale'iwa. They're hiding in the bushes up there above you guys. But on Molokai, they're killing us. Hey, those farmers are not farmers. These guys are not farmers. Okay? We grew up with farmers all our lives. These are chemical companies. They're only farming for one reason, and that's to make a lot of money. Okay, we all know what would happen to us if the barges stopped, right? We all know. You gotta go home, crank your gun, because we're not gonna have food if the barges stop. So the legislature is supposed to, in their wisdom, is supposed to make sure that we're growing our own food. Right? I mean, that's, you know, I thought that was like, duh. You know, it's like, you check on legislature today. I was there for the last 2 months. They're not, the base of the farmlands, the base of the agriculture industry, according to the governor and according to the Department of Agriculture, is biotechnology. It's these chemical companies. They're the base of our agriculture industry right now. It's like, what? Wait. I thought we were supposed to grow food. These guys, they grow seeds you cannot eat. They don't pay any taxes on this. They export everything. So the thing went flip upside down in a matter of a couple years and flip right upside down. So we're not growing food on all our lands. All up here, all this stuff shipped out. No more food. Okay? In fact, they closed you guys' farmers market over here. So you gotta be blind not to see what's going on. Yeah? In my family, and it's like anybody's family, this winter, I swear, everybody in the house got sick. One at a time, two at a time, my cousin's house, the babies, everybody. Just this whole winter was like, you ride on the airplane, everybody blowing their nose, coughing, trying to hide the cough. You come in the bus, same thing. We're not one healthy nation. We're not. Our lands, the way these chemical farmers farm on Molokai, I'm telling you guys right now, they're killing our lands. All that dust, the thing went blow, yeah, this summer. And one dust bigger than this whole park, bigger than this whole place, came up in the air. And everybody in the whole town, the whole island of Molokai saw this dust, and the dust came up, and all the guys who live around the farms had to roll up the windows, hide everything. The dust came up, went up in the sky at least a mile, and the thing went right over the ocean. And the thing went all the way to Lanai, and we couldn't even see Lanai. This is the God's truth. This is what happens to our land with these kind of new farmers. And then it happened again and again. So it's like, oh, we like strangle somebody, you know? It's like, I'm getting old now, and I get grandkids, and now I get on great grandkids. And we say downwind, just like this town, we say downwind. Those guys up there, the wind blowing this way, you gotta be one low not to think that there's something in that wind, because the chemicals they're using now, it's not Roundup anymore. And they ought to improve. Roundup is, well, first when we used to use Roundup, oh wow, this thing no bother nothing, oh great stuff, no need worry. And then they found out gotta worry. Now what Roundup did was Roundup made super weeds. Super weeds. Roundup is not effective anymore. Okay, so these guys are now using chemicals that was banned long time ago, and they're bringing them back. They're giving them different names and stuff to hide them. Remember these cockroaches? They're always hiding. And these things are volatile. They're the ones that stay in the air the longest. Okay, in fact, they were elements in Agent Orange. They're using pilau stuff way worse than Roundup now. So you guys are gonna be getting all this stuff. The guys who live next to the fields, you guys are the worst guys gonna get hit. Our generation, what was? Sugar, cigarettes, DDT, heptachlor, some of those other chemicals. This generation is a lot worse. So when we talk about the children, you guys gotta make sure that what we're fighting for is the children. This stuff is pilau stuff. You know, I don't know how to say what I feel inside here, except to tell you that these guys are big. So, what you guys did today, maikai. Okay? What you gotta do tomorrow. You cannot just think today gonna solve the problem. Okay? Today gonna tell all the other islands, hey, get off your asses, man. Look, Hale'iwa got off the okole and they doing it. You guys better do them. Okay, so every Saturday, one different island gonna do them, and you guys will set the example, you guys will set the standard for the rest of the islands. But your job not done. Your job not done, because the battle goes every day. So what we doing at the legislature, you guys gotta help us over there. They took over the legislature. Monsanto and those guys took over our government. I can tell you that straight out. So we went over there, we went March 2 over there. And we went fill up the rotunda and we made our voices heard. Okay? So now we got their attention, but we got the bills through all the committees fighting with Monsanto. They fill up the room, they fly guys from Kauai, they bring all busloads of workers down there. And we still fought. So right now, the battle we're in right now, you guys can all help in this battle. Okay, you guys, especially if you get cell phones, you guys can help. On Tuesday, our bill is going to go before the House of Representatives, the floor of the House. We got it through all the committees, and now it's going before the floor. So that means 50 guys going to vote. That means Monsanto is calling them up. Monsanto is doing everything in its power to kill this bill. It's alive. Your representatives. Who's your representative? A guy named Fale, I think. And one pretty girl named Cheapy. You have to call her up. And then you guys got one senator now. You guys had one pretty bad senator before. This guy named De La Cruz. Man, that guy's bad news. You guys got rid of him because of redistricting. Now you guys got Senator He. He's the one fighting Turtle Bay for you guys right now. He's writing a bill to stop the expansion of Turtle Bay. You guys got to support that kind of senator and get rid of the kind De La Cruz kind senators. You know, you got to know what the heck's going on in your government so you don't make the same mistake over and over and over. So we need help Tuesday. Okay, from now to Tuesday, if you guys can get on your cell phones and help call all the House members, okay? You guys know how to Google, right? Capital.hawaii.gov. Very simple. Look for the names. Look under Contact Us. And then you get 50 names. You guys got to call 50 people. There are 50 people going to vote on Tuesday. If they vote for us, the bill stays alive and it goes to the Senate. If Monsanto wins, and they convince the 50 people to vote against our bill, it dies on the floor. The name of the bill is a very easy name. It's House Bill or HB 174. You need to call your representative and say, I support and we want you to support House Bill 174 on Tuesday. If we do that, the whole nation is going to know, just like everybody on Hawaii is going to know about this march. You guys can help be responsible for the whole nation to know that a labeling bill passed the House floor in the state of Hawaii. No other nation has been able to do that. So, I want to encourage you guys to participate in some politics here. You know, but participate, otherwise we get what we get. And make some cell phone calls. And if you know how to type, you can send email. You just type all the email, bang, out. Okay? So, I want to say goodbye right now, but I want to make sure you understand what is in my heart right now. And it's all aloha for what you guys did today. Hey, where's this guy Barker? You know, we really got to give him a lot of aloha. It's not easy to do what he did today, to stand up there and share his heart. And his heart was saying, love the land and love your families and love the children. And that's a huge base to start from. So how about a round of applause for Justin Barker? And all this stuff, and all of the organizing, and all of the real hard work. How about a round of applause for Da Hui? So, Hale'iwa, you guys are on sound footing. You guys know what the target is, and you guys are in action. So there's much hope to keep country, and Hale'iwa. Mahalo.
Man, you gotta love Uncle Walter. He comes up with a purpose. Remember that HB 174. He asked for one thing. If everybody does this one thing, you'll be amazed at the difference it'll make. Now guys, our next speaker is a specialist from CTAR at the University of Hawaii. Talk about someone else that needs support. Hector Valenzuela has been one of the only, if not the only, University of Hawaii CTAR professor to emphasize that GMOs are killing our environment. Normally, for the talk story that Hector's about to do, he charges $20. We're just asking $10 from each of you. Make sure to give it to Hector Valenzuela. I'm kidding, guys. Hector, please come up and share some manao. You guys feel this wonderful breeze today? That wonderful breeze is potentially carrying harmful chemicals from 1,000 acres of Monsanto cornfields. 3,200 acres right down the street. I want you guys to think about this, because as much as they say that there's no connection, our ancestors knew that the winds from every island gathered. And so keep that in mind as we learn about these GMO chemicals and what they're doing to us. Hector, thank you.
Mahalo, Daniel. Thanks, everybody. So just to clarify, GMOs is a technology. GMOs is not science. And they are applying the technology, but they don't understand the science. And so far, the technology itself is out of control. A survey was just conducted from farmers in the southern US, and about 8 of 10 farmers say that Roundup is not working any longer. Same with BT. BT is not working any longer. So what they have done is, today we have some varieties that have 8 different stacks or 8 different pesticides in one variety, and hoping that one of those stacks end up working. But today we know that this DNA, these pesticides in the plant can be found in the placenta of mothers, move to the fetus of moms. So the question is, what is the effect of all these 8 stacks on the baby trying to develop, and which is exposed to this level of pesticides? 2 examples of how the technology is not working. To date, about 82 different traits have been commercialized. A paper came out a couple of weeks ago saying that out of these 82 traits, corn and cotton and so on, 52 of those have a hidden viral DNA that they didn't know was there. So that means that these crops got acceptance by regulators without knowing that there was a hidden viral DNA in those plants, in that genome. Now, what are viruses for? First, they like to reproduce, they like to move around, and they also like to take over operations in the body and make things work for themselves. So the question is, what could happen with this? Just one of the small examples. Another example, part of the cassette that is introduced in the plants includes bacterial DNA. A survey just conducted in China found that most of the rivers, of the major rivers in China that were sampled, that bacterial DNA had already transferred to native species in those rivers, and those organisms were carrying that bacterial DNA. That means all the antibiotic markers. And again, the question is, what is going to happen once the people get exposed to these antibiotic markers, and then they go to the clinic or to the hospital to be treated, and the antibiotics may not work when they need to be treated. Another angle on the industry being out of control is the big question mark about pesticides. I just put out the second edition of a report that lists 40 of the many chemical pesticides that are being used by the pesticide industry in Hawaii. And in that report, I basically cite from the literature in the United States of cases where these pesticides had been found in aquatic habitats, and evidence that some of these chemicals have produced adverse health effects on animal studies. A point that Daniel wanted to mention was that all of the GMO crops in Hawaii are considered crops that are not for human consumption. That means that the applicators have a wider range of ability to apply more chemicals and more often than they would have if they were producing a crop for food. In vegetables, we call pre-harvest interval. That means you have to stop applying chemicals maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month before harvest. If you're growing foods that are not for food, you can apply up to the last week prior to harvest or during harvest. So the potential for exposure to the community is a lot greater than if you were growing crops for actual food consumption. So just briefly, the good news is that the communities are standing up, not only in Hawaii, but all over the world. I get emails from Latin America every week, and there's levels of activism. And the word is, because of climate change, we want around the green corridors around our communities to be growing food to feed ourselves. We don't want agriculture for low, cheap, subsidized commodities that have nothing to do with ourselves or with our culture. The somewhat not so good news is that GMOs are only a small part of the equation. And on a larger scale, we are looking, or we have to question, a large economic/military system that allows these things to actually take place around our communities. And the policy of this economic system is we say as it goes, and we actually don't have to tell you what we're doing in your backyard, on your communities, and we can actually feed you a crop or varieties of crops for 20 years without you having to know what's going on. Vandana Shiva made the good case of the ties of the military with agriculture. And why do we have some of our major products have mentioned of military ties, such as Roundup or Warrior chemical pesticide? So this means that we are at war with the land, we're at land with our soil, and we're going to force it to produce something, even if we have to spray or fumigate the entire field with pesticides. A couple of years ago, we had the APEC meeting in Hawaii. At this meeting, we had the architects, the masters of the world, the CEOs, and the trade representatives, and they were basically splitting their pies among themselves and defining how the economy and agriculture and everything else in our society was going to work. They did not invite farmers to these discussions. They did not invite labor. They did not invite teachers, nurses. They didn't invite them. They were just having this discussion in secret among themselves to develop secret trade agreements. And this means that in the long term, they're going to say, you guys have to accept GMOs, and even if you have home rule or local county regulations, those might not count in the long term. So we're still living in an occupied nation. The nation of Hawaii is being occupied militarily, and we are still under a large economic and military system where what they say goes, and where the public is kept outside of the discussion. So from that perspective, we have a lot of work to do, and mahalo everybody.
And what you see, and support all the natives of this land. And it's such a beautiful thing to show our appreciation for those. Time to educate, here to communicate. Yes, it's our health at stake. My friends, don't be blinded. They're taking over the land. It's time we make our stand. It's time you know about companies like Monsanto. Oh no, oh no. polluting with chemical spray, poisoning waters day after day. Kamehameha school said they could stay because they pay. I will. And look at the long-term effect when it's the land you neglect. The Ahupua'a has been a wreck. You're looking for your paycheck. Where's the respect? Where's the respect? Let's put our faith in the natural way. Forget the chemicals and your pesticide spree. Educate yourself for the children of today. Cause food grown organic and pure will always be the #1 cure. You'll all be grateful when you say no to GMO. Gotta say no to GMO. I tell. Well, you may be asking yourself, how does this affect my health? Most people eating GMO and they don't even know. Oh no, oh no. Monsanto's the same company using Roundup, Agent Orange, and PCB. Products causing cancer, my friends, they're not the answer. Not the answer. Now what are the steps we take to help to correct this mistake? First thing we can do is tell them, label our food. Don't be so rude. Don't be so rude. The next thing we can do, tell Kamehameha School, remember Kanaka Maoli, Hawaiian sovereignty. Set the people free. Set the people free. Let's put our faith in the natural way. Forget the chemicals and your pesticide spray. Educate yourself for the children of today. Cause food grown organic and pure will always be the #1 cure. You'll all be grateful when you say no to GMO. Gotta say no to GMO. I'll tell you what it stands for. Genetically modified organism. Well, I don't wanna be no genetically modified organism. I don't wanna be no genetically modified organism. I know I tell you, I don't wanna be no genetically modified. Do we really want this? Organism. You don't want to be a genetically modified organism. The answer is no, we do not want to. It's time to educate, here to communicate. Yes, it's our health at stake. My friends, don't be blinded. They're taking over the land. It's time we make our stand. It's time you know about companies like Monsanto. Oh no, oh no. Polluting with chemical spray, poisoning waters day after day. Kamehameha school said they could stay because they pay. I will. And look at the long-term effect when it's the land you neglect. The Ahupua'a has been a wreck. You're looking for your paycheck. Where's the respect? Where's the respect? Let's put our faith in the natural way. Forget the chemicals and your pesticide spray. Educate yourself for the children of today. Cause food grown organic and pure will always be the #1 cure. You'll all be grateful when you say no to GMO. Gotta say no to GMO. I tell you. Well, you may be asking yourself, how does this affect my health? Most people eating GMO and they don't even know. Oh no, oh no. Monsanto's the same company using Roundup, Agent Orange, and PCB. Products causing cancer, my friends, they're not the answer. Not the answer. Now what are the steps we take to help to correct this mistake? First thing we can do is tell them, label our food. Don't be so rude. Don't be so rude. The next thing we can do, tell Kamehameha School, remember Kanaka Maoli, Hawaiian sovereignty. Set the people free. Set the people free.